right, let me go ahead and do a quick intro about what this class is all about. Everything that we talk about here on Thursdays at 6 p.m. and all the lessons that you get here is all typically going to be themed on just team building, really has nothing to do with travel. So let's get that clear and out of the way. We have so much travel training, so if you want travel training, she's the person right there. She has many classes literally every single day, so that's the person that you definitely want to learn from when it comes to travel. So what we're talking about here is going to be different topics, team building, and and to prevent it from getting monotonous, because like a lot of the times we have a lot of new agents. Instead, every Thursday we're going to touch on different topics to help you get better. So that way we keep it fresh, especially for some of the agents that are already team building, as well as people who are brand spanking new. So I already have a lot of classes that I'm doing for intro classes on team building. So if you feel like there's a piece missing, then please message me directly and I'll give you all the other classes that help catch you up into kind of the topics that we're talking about, okay? So that way, you feel good in your learning. And so as long as I keep giving you guys new, fresh content material, this is going to help your growth in what we're doing. All right. And everything that's going to be based on team building training, it's going to be a lot of like even workshops with a culmination of lessons that teach you how to become a better network marketer and a team builder. And so when we talk about team building as well, it's going to be sometimes about mental fortitude and also ethics within your team, especially if you start to become leaders. Everything is going to be layered on top of each other, so that way it just helps you become a better network marketer, basically, pretty much, okay? Especially if you guys are looking to build a team. First off, one of the things I definitely want to tell you is we're not recruiters. I know a lot of the word recruiting goes around, but just that shift of thinking when we say we're not recruiters, but instead we're more so team builders. And in that definition, team building is we're helping to build people, right? And to help them build a team. And so a lot of ways that is a successful formula, because that was the initial philosophy going into Rising Tide when I decided, you know what, I'm going to build up a massive team. So when I build a team, I want to make sure that I'm not just recruiting, because recruiting is just bringing someone on board and then you forget all about them. What we're actually doing here is building people and building a team. So that way, when I build people around me, we have so many different types of personalities, and we're helping to understand each other's strengths and helping each other up to a strong organization.
Back here, okay.
Oh, thank you. I was just getting used to all that background noise, right? And so what we're doing here is definitely looking, in Rising Tide, the philosophy behind everything that we do is to help each other along the way. So, as everybody knows, all the leaders know that I don't really hold any secrets when it comes to building a team. However, Rising Tide's tactics, Rising Tide strategies are within our group. I feel that in a lot of ways, everything that we teach each other in Rising Tide is proprietary. So it's extremely important to understand that factor, because I hold nothing back and I want you guys to grow. So what happens is, and it's up to you, entirely up to you, but should you guys decide to share all the information that I give to you guys, what's going to end up happening is that you're going to dilute your own pools. You guys get what I'm saying? So I definitely don't want you guys to do that. Okay, Lisa Magenti, no worries. I'll upload it in YouTube. Okay, and then I'll let everyone know. I'll put up the link inside the messenger. All right. So there's been something special going on, and the topic today is locking down your prospect, right? Because in a lot of ways, the things that we're teaching here is cold market. right? Cold market, in my opinion, is the best market because it's an infinite resource. It gives you permission to screw up a whole lot of times with a whole bunch of strangers, blow out the lead. It doesn't matter because at the end of the day, there's always going to be someone else that you can replace that with, right? And that's my philosophy going in. So it's okay as long as you continue to get leads. To me, even if you blow it out, doesn't matter because they're strangers initially, and it allows you to grow as a performer in terms of your art of network marketing, right? Because at the end of the day, whenever you're growing in anything, you know, failure is part of the process, and so is making mistakes. So is challenges. Like, we all want success. We all want immediate results. I totally get that. But the thing is that we have to account for everything that comes along with success, right? No matter how you look at it. And it's really just having to accept everything that comes with it, from mistakes and failures. So moving forward, as long as you move forward with that mentality, then you're allowing yourself permission to be okay with a little bit of rejection, a little bit of, oh, I screwed that one up, right? So that way you just keep getting better at what you do. And this is a big part of the process that we teach here in Rising Tide, that for me, even the more you fail is actually a good thing because you're just getting better at what you do. The only thing that you got to do is not just do not repeat the same thing over and over again expecting different results, because that's not going to happen. You're just going to sit there and bang your head all over, you know. And so we definitely don't want you doing that, right? So this special guest, oh my gosh, newly promoted, silver consultant. Wow. And especially at the speed at which she's moving. She hasn't even been with us this long, but I'll tell you what, there's something special about what she's doing. She's gotten our strategies and, in my opinion, mastered one aspect of it in a way that people can be envious about. It's pretty amazing because she's got actually the only person that I know that has gone 10 for 10 and 20 of 20 when it comes to invites. I'm sure a lot of you can relate with me when I say, well, I've invited 10 people and one person shows up, maybe none, right? And sometimes I've invited 15 people and only 2 show up. So a lot of the times there's something to be said about that. So what this person has demonstrated, and it was an eye-opener, a shocker, in which when she at one time during the webinar brought in 20 guests, did they all sign up? That's irrelevant. No, not all of them are going to sign up. That's just the reality of what it is, right? It's not, look, the mentality that you always want to go in when you have a guest is, this could be a wonderful, great fit for you. If it is, great. If it's not, that's okay too. And that allows you to relieve any pressure from them and you. And at the end of the day, your job is complete when you get them to the webinar. After that, it's really up to the presenter to make, to create the value, to do all the work that he needs to do in order to get the information out there for them to be super geeked up about what they have in front of them. And it is at that point there, everyone's adult enough to then make a sound decision, especially with all the offers and incentives that we provide here with Rising Tide. But the game changer here is the paradigm of what you can do to ensure that your guest actually gets there. How many of you would like to know that magic, right? Where you can invite someone and you can ensure that they get there. How many of you would like to invite 20 guests and have 20 guests show up? Yeah. How many of you would like to learn that? How many of you would like to learn to invite 10 guests and have all 10 show up, with or regardless if they join or not? Just the fact that they're sitting down on the webinar, right? Now, even if they leave in the middle, that's not your fault, but you did your job. You just got them there, right? So I talked to our newly promoted silver consultant. I said, there's something there. If none of you guys know her, you guys will know her after today. Her name is Erica Mills. She hasn't been with us that long, but I'll tell you what, she's quickly understanding the game rather quickly. And for anyone to be able to invite 20 and then have 20 show up, invite 10 to have 10 show up, what I wanted to get from her, for her to be able to teach you guys, because that's something that I've never been able to do. I'll be honest with you. I've never invited 20 people and had 20 show up.
Me either.
I've never had that done for me. I'm serious. So
and I'm good at it.
So there's something to be said about that routine of whatever it is that she's doing. So I wanted to give her a moment to where she can, provide a ton of value there. And it's not really about what she's posting, but to the point of when she gets the text straight to her phone number, what she does from that point all the way to the point that they get to Zoom. Okay, so that is primarily what I wanted her to show. Okay, now in addition to that, what's really cool is a lot of you guys, I've been telling people, coach people how to get to Zoom. There's a much easier way to get people to Zoom too now. You can just send them a link to the exact Zoom number, and then it'll say click it, and it just automatically sends them there. So that's going to be a lot easier for you guys too. I'm always constantly looking for ways to improve performance into what we're doing. So this is all going to help you guys. So without further ado, I'm going to give and turn over the stage to our newly promoted silver consultant, Erica Mills. Erica, let me go ahead and give me a moment. I'm going to make you host, all right, darling? And then now you can go ahead and feel free to unmute yourself. And then you got now full control of the stage.
Awesome. Is there a way to share my screen? How do I do that again?
Okay, so what you want to do is at the very bottom, do you see that green square in the middle there that says share?
Yep, found it. Got it.
All right, and then share the screen there.
Okay, guys.
Cool.
I am new at this, totally out of my comfort zone, so I apologize if I mess up in any way. I am Erica. I've been with the company since June 19th of this year. Today I got promoted to silver. So I will get right to it. From the moment that they text, you have whatever add up. From the moment that you text, or you receive that text, I'm sorry, you literally will just respond. What I always respond with is good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is. How are you doing? If you engage with the potential prospects, then it's human nature to engage back, correct? So that's literally what I do as far as responding back to them from the very beginning. Then it does get pretty lengthy as far as my next response to them. I just kind of, wrong slide, guys, sorry. The next steps, like I said, 9 times out of 10, they'll engage back. Why? Because it's human nature and instinct. Their response most of the time to me is, I'm doing good, and you? Doing great, thanks for asking. They'll respond again with, I am interested in the travel agent posting that you had posted on Facebook. I go, awesome. So I'll get right to it. I'm a certified travel agent that is licensed and bonded through Archer Travel. We're all home-based agents. We have 7,000 to 8,000 agents on board. The company does hire you as a 1099 employee, which means you work however many hours you want, when you want, and where you want. So we have agents that do this for a little extra income or full-time like me. You will need your own computer and phone in order to book travel. We have a live meeting that will go into our company, the training process, our vendors, commission breakdown, etc. It is by invite only, and I always suggest it to anybody who is looking to join our agency because it really lays everything out on the table for you so you can make an informed decision. The meeting is, and whatever time you want to choose. I don't, like Monday is 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 6 p.m. I usually do either 1 p.m. and 6 p.m. because I don't want to go to the prospects meetings 3 times a day. I want to be able to engage in the other meetings, Nikki Live, team building, things like that. So I give them those 2 times. Can I get your name for the list? You're in control. You're just giving them an option to pick a time because a lot of people do still work that corporate 9 to 5. They'll either respond or they won't. I do get a lot that don't, but obviously I get a lot that do. They'll give me their name. I'll go, great. My name is Erica Mills. I've got you down for 6 p.m. Pacific time. And in the meantime, we use Zoom for all of the webinars, training, and meetings. So if you could download that onto your phone, or you can go to zoom.us if on your computer. Then around 30 to 45 minutes before the meeting, I will send you a message with the meeting code. I look forward to seeing you real soon at the meeting. That's really, guys, all I do. I know it's a long text, but that's what works for me. I've tried to do the small little things. It doesn't work for me. This is what has worked for me. If they don't respond, move on. You cannot spend all of your time on one person because you could have one text coming in or 50. So when I lay it all out there, they usually respond to me. They half the time will even send me a screenshot of the app to make sure it's right. And then in the morning, I'll respond to make sure they're still interested, because you're not going to shoot out meeting codes to anybody. Good morning. How are you doing? Want to make sure you're still good and ready for the meeting. They'll respond. If not, move on. But you're still showing interest. You're not giving up on them is what I've had people tell me. You're asking how they are. And like I always say, everybody asks me what my trick is. I give them candy. Just kidding. The only thing, my next step is, since I'm getting them to Zoom, my next step is to lock them in. And that's my goal for next time. If anybody needs any help with getting them to Zoom, I'm here for you, one-on-one, text, call, whatever. I'm willing to share it. Charles, help me. How? I'm trying to find him. Where'd he go? There he goes. Ah, made it.
That was
Oh my God.
You did it! Yay! That was a learning moment there. That's
I felt like
awesome.
Nikki for a minute trying to figure out how to do it.
Well, thank you so much, Erica Mills, and congratulations on your new promotion. And thank you for sharing that information. That's going to provide a ton of value for a lot of these new agents that have yet to get started. You did get a few questions though,
Okay.
and please take a moment and here by Erica Gonzalez. How do you do follow-ups?
Follow-ups as in once they get to Zoom, or
after or
Erica, you want to answer that? Gonzalez?
rephrase the question, Erica.
How do you do follow-ups? And she wants to know, like, in terms of what, like after the Zoom, or
No.
oh, so
yes, after.
Erica, so what I do is I will follow up usually, because you'll notice people will more than likely stay until they see that $49 or that $69.95 monthly, because one time is one thing, but it catches people off guard when you add in the monthly. So what I usually do, if they drop off, I'll text them, hey, did you lose connection? If they respond, then I'll be like, okay, where did you completely drop off? I'll follow up with you. If they went all the way through at the very end, I'm like, what did you like about the meeting?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They'll say, oh, I really love the perks. Really? That's what I love about it. What else did you like?
Right.
I am literally, guys, following everything that Nikki and Charles and even Tony Ward has told us to do.
Mm-hmm.
That is literally all I'm doing. But I mean, and some of it could be luck. I don't know, but I'm literally, if it's working, why change it?
That's right.
So, let's see.
Nicole Costa is asking, at what point do you pursue the sign up? Well, I can answer that right after the webinar.
Immediately.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Immediately.
Like right away. And I'm going to go over that right now. Because
and Jenny, yes, Jenny, you can text me, message me on Facebook, whatever. I can send you everything that I had in my little presentation. I've never done it before, so I know it was kind of small. And get it from there. If you need my number, message me on Facebook, or get it from Nikki and Charles have it also. Feel free to contact me that way.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Erica. Cool.
And then I got Stacy over here. It says, Erica, you must go back to your PMs to follow up with your client. Okay. Okay. She's answering actually.
That's awesome.
Nicole, do you ever follow up with recent people who signed on, but also canceled pretty quickly?
Okay. So, Nicole, don't jinx me. I haven't had anybody do that to me yet. But what I would do is I would ask them, hey, I did have a girl that completely took herself off of all of our group chats and unfriended me. But she's still active on my downline. But I did send her a message stating that I can actually read it to you. So I tell you word for word.
I would say, is everything okay, right?
I was like, is there a reason you left the group on Facebook? Is everything okay? If it's because of notifications, you can actually mute those. We strongly recommend, in fact, because it can get pretty annoying. She's never responded to me, so move on. Amanda, you should follow up with anyone who canceled if they ask anything and try to help them. Hardy, should I still push when they tell me I don't have money to the absolutely tell them, not really push, just tell them, hey, I'm sure you waste, again, I have to work on my closing, but I do tell them, hey, I spend more money at Walmart and Target and Starbucks than the $49. I completely understand. I had to talk my husband into letting me have the 49. If you need to wait, I will. How about I follow up with you next week? If they're like, yes, please. For instance, I had somebody that literally, let's see. She actually messaged me. Well, I can't find it right now. There's so many text messages. She had actually messaged me, and I looked back, and she was actually somebody from my very first week. I had messaged everybody on Monday morning from my very first week of June 19th, and was like, hey, it's Erica, just trying to touch base with you, see if you had any questions. She messaged me today, right before the Zoom started, and she was like, I'm signing up tomorrow. What should my business name be?
Nice.
Yep.
And I go, if you don't have one, put your first and last name. You can change it later. So, I mean, it is, if you follow what Charles and Nikki have told us from the very beginning, when everybody signs up, when you go to the new agent orientation, if you do what they tell you to do, it's really not them telling you what to do. It's a recommendation because it's worked. All you can do is try it. You cannot try something for the 10-day money back or the 30-day you can cancel. I've owned a flower shop. I've already made more money doing this than I ever did in the 2 years I owned my flower shop.
Whoa.
So, and that's not, I haven't even gotten my, my building team money yet, my residual. So, if it works, I always say, try something for a month every day. If you're raising, try it for a month. If it starts working, stick with it. Right. If you don't get, one of our big Facebook groups out here is Temecula Talk. And I always call it the hackling hens that are in that group, but for all last week, I don't think I signed anybody. I might have signed one person. I got 5 hits. But now this week I posted in the same group, in between the 1 and 4 on Facebook, like they say to do. And I've gotten probably 150 text messages. So, it's just like whoever has kids. If you're raising a kid and they're not listening to you, keep telling them no. Eventually they're going to listen. Don't give in. So yes, of course, Nicole, if they have a problem with the team building, what I do with that, when I sign my people on that are worried about that, I tell them, hey, we have a 30-day steps to success. If you finish that in 30 days, you're not paying for your next month or half of your other month. Keep pushing. And on that 30 days to success, whether they know it or not, they'll get down and they need to put 3 people on their team anyway.
So Eric got the you got the $100?
I think so.
Yeah, she booked travel. She's on my Acuity Live.
Yeah, so definitely just explain, explain to them. If they want that extra, you get to silver, you get the residual. Your 69's covered for, and you got a little over $100 to waste on Walmart or Target.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Thank you so much, Erica.
Yes.
You're welcome.
You were
amazing.
silver.
Awesome.
Hello. Watch out. All right, so
Gold run.
let me answer a few of the questions here, because now what we're going to do is we're definitely going to go to closing and bringing someone on board, you know, because in what we do here, just to make it very clear, and a lot of you guys are going to get the class to learn it, right? And I'm going to send you guys the video, but I'm going to shoot straight to closing this time around. So that way you guys have an effective way to bring someone on board, and you have a better understanding on what it's going to look like bringing them on board, right? So there's 4 parts, really. When you understand team building, you have to understand this. There's really 4 areas of what we're doing when we're building a team. What you just experienced right now is Erica Mills' inviting game, because she got it on lockdown and she knows what the heck she's doing. She's inviting, and this, I want to say, is the biggest part of the game. When you can lock down inviting, everything will take care of itself, right? And then once you get people on board, like, you don't even, pretty much for the most part, you don't even have to worry about this, because me and Amy are pretty much doing it for you guys, making it easy. A lot of times, you know, in network marketing, they always tell you, well, you should start doing it. I get that too. But the thing is eventually I do want you guys to start getting good at this. But when you're ready, you know, because this comes with an area of wanting to push yourself to control the information to where, like, you want to do it, right? And at some point, you're going to know so much about the information, this is going to be second nature to you. But at the same token, there is a way of doing it. And then also, number 3, bringing someone on board, closing, and just the general wrap up for bringing someone on board, there's a lesson to that too. Because a lot of people make the mistake here, and like, look, if you screw this up, they're not even gonna get to the presentation. And then if the presentation is not good, they're just gonna end up leaving the presentation, right? And then of course, if you don't know what you're doing here, then they're just gonna not even come on board, right? And then of course, once you bring them on board, now it's time to facilitate them and make sure that they get exactly what they came for, right? So facilitation is always ensuring to help duplicate what you learn to have them do the same exact thing, and basically look out for your agents so that way they get what they came for.
Bring one on board, help one on board.
Yeah. So Erica Mills just covered inviting for you guys the way she does it. So because this is recorded, if you guys missed the slides that she put, because it's recorded, I will upload it later today. And when it gets uploaded, you guys can screenshot it as you go, or you'll have the video at your access. Okay, so now you got them to the presentation, right? Presentation is complete. Then it becomes about closing and bringing someone on board, which is going to be, there's presentation, which is phase 3, and then right here. Okay, so Nicole DeCosta asked the question, when do we pursue the sign up? Strike when the iron is hot. That's what you got to do, right? I actually, in our presentations, I set it up so that way it's time. I even, like a lot of you guys that came on board from the webinar from Amy and me, a lot of you guys have experienced that. I set it up right during the presentation. I said, okay, this is what's going to happen. In order for you to get your gift, this is how it's going to go down. You're going to connect with the agent who referred you. They're going to process you. They're going to get the information. And then once they do, they give the agent ID. It's all a walkthrough. So the closing is already pretty much done for you. All you have to do really is just now get on, connect with them. Okay. And it's time to go through a series of these questions, just like Erica Mill had just explained to you. Now, there's, you know, you got to understand the general phase of the close. So I'm going to cover this right now. So that way you know exactly what to expect, and you kind of are going to get familiar. I've done this so many times, you know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. It's countless to me. But as a general rule of thumb, it's the same rinse and repeat always. It's just, that's what it's going to be. This is an art form to me. Of course, you're going to get a few, what do you call it, fork in the roads, where people kind of like say, all right, they're going to say this or they're going to say that. And I'm going to cover all of it. So at the end of the day, though, you know, you're always going to get the same objections, right? Someone just had mentioned, yeah, I can't get past, some people can't get past the $69.95. Some people, you know, do give you one of these, and then, you know, other people give you these. I'll go over all of those with you, okay? But at the same token, as a general rule of thumb, this is your immediate close. Okay, so they watched the video, or not the video, they watched the presentation. So then I set it up, I close out the webinar. What's your next step? You should have their phone number in hand, ready to go. And one of the things I definitely want you to do is have your site up, ready to go. And I mean that, myevolutiontravel.com. They should already be rock and roll. You want to know why? Because you should already assume they're ready to come on board. I don't care. You know, I have it already ready to go. I'm ready. Look, this is what it's going to be filled up. Charles Lee. I'm going to bring someone on board right now. So if they stayed all the way to the video, I mean, the presentation, in my opinion, if they stayed all the way to the end, they like what they see. They're ready to connect with you. If they didn't make it to the end of the presentation, maybe it's not for them. That's okay. So you connect with them, and just like Erica Mills saying, this is the question that you always have to ask. Not what you think, right? Do you like it? None of those open-ended questions. For real. All right? I've been teaching this since the beginning, right, Teresa Lawyer? From freaking day one, Teresa Lawyer's been with me forever, right? This still hasn't changed, right, Teresa? None of this ever has changed. It's still the same to this day. So you connect with them. Ring, ring. Hey, Teresa. Hey, that was a lot of great information, wasn't it? Yes, it was. What you like best about what you saw? Or what was your favorite part about what you saw? What did I just do there? I basically guided how the answer should come out. In a way, it favors you. Because if you say, so what did you think? Or did you like it? What you're doing is, in everything that we do, Erica Mills said it best. She maintains control the whole way through. And I'm all about controlling how this thing goes and how this thing plays out. And you're going to get good at this as time goes on. It's like a magician. I always explain this like a magician. A magician does a routine, right? And when a magician does his routine, what happens is that he does this hand thing right here. He knows your eyes are going to shift over there while he's doing this over here, right? And so in that sense, when you do this enough times to where you just know how it's going to go, you just know how it's going to work out. So the way you design that question is in a way that it favors you. Like a magician will divert your eyes in a way that it favors him to do whatever he's doing with his other hand, right? So what'd you like best about what you saw? Whatever it is that they say, my guess is that everything and anything that they say that they liked, you like it too. So whatever it is, this is where you're going to create what you call alignment, okay? Facing the same direction. And I really mean that. It works like a charm, right? And what you're doing is you're going to share a story by saying, me too, really. So it goes something like this. So, Teresa, what'd you like best about what you saw? Oh, I like the travel part. I like the fact that you can travel more, and I like the fact that you can make money from home. Why? Ooh. It's amazing that you say that, because that's exactly what attracted my wife, right? It's the same exact thing to where, hold on, to where you align yourself properly with them to where now you're facing the same direction, not against each other. Like, have you ever gone to like a car sales? This is a good example, and I really want you to pay attention to this. The guy who shows you the car, you get to drive in the car, test drive the car, all that stuff. He's sitting in the passenger side or in the back seat. He's rolling with you the whole way through. Now, when it's time for you to cough up the money, you know what happens? You have to go to a manager room, don't you? Right? And then when you go to the manager room, now that's where the negotiations take place, where now you're sitting down at a table, the guy who's going to give you the deal on the car is facing you, and then you're sitting on the other end facing each other. In a lot of ways, biologically, what that means is like a kind of confrontation kind of a sense there, to where the guy who is actually riding with you in the car, showing you the car and everything that he's doing, what is he doing? He's sitting right next to you, facing the same direction, kind of like the we're against him kind of thing, we, right? And he's making the commission off of you. Either way, That's the same ideology, is that you want to create that alignment, because subconsciously, by him sitting next to me and facing the same direction, it is giving me comfort in the fact that he's on the same side as me, like he's rooting for me in a kind of way. So it's a very deeper understanding there of what I'm explaining. I'm philosophically breaking these things down to you, so that way it makes sense why you're saying these things, not just say it because it works, right? If I explain to you why it works, now you get why you're saying it exactly the way why we're explaining it to you, right? So what do you like best about what you saw? Oh, I like the travel part. I like the fact that you can save money through travel, blah, 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 blah. Your response? Me too. That's what I loved about it too. What are you doing? Creating alignment. Now you're going to share a story about what it is that you liked about it. And it's going to be a very similar story, right? And in a lot of ways, if she likes travel and very passionate about the travel, I say, yeah, no, absolutely. In fact, it was my wife who liked the travel part. Be honest with you, I could care less about the travel part. I like building a team, but that's my wife's part. So I'm not going to make up a story. I just say, yeah, no, my wife, that's exactly the reason why she initially started this business, because she loves travel, and then she like, right? Now they get it. Now you create an alignment and a common ground. You guys with me here? Does that make sense? Yes or no? Yes, 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 no, 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 yes, 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 no, no, no. Cool. It's important to understand why, right? And when you do that, see, that's why, like, I don't know. I'm always over explaining, but this is the stuff that makes you guys level up. I know sometimes when I deliver, I just always want to make sure that I over explain, so that way you guys fully understand. All right. So now you created this alignment. And what I often do is I reinforce that alignment by just asking that simple second question. What else did you like about best? What else did you like about what you saw? And so whatever they say, it's just more reinforcement. And the words that are coming out of their mouth is levels of excitement, levels of things that favor the company and them becoming a travel agent, and you. All of the above. It favors you, right? So everything that you're designing, it's kind of hard. It's like me saying, what's your name? The context of that question is your name. So only the way you're going to answer it is your name, nothing else. So when I designed that question, I didn't personally design it, but this is a universal question that has always worked for all of network marketing. I don't care about what it is that you do. So what would you like best about what you saw, right? And then what else did you like? Reinforcement, okay? So sometimes you might not have to do it. Sometimes you might pick it up right away, depending on the energy level and the kind of conversation you're having and this, that, the other. So I gauge a lot of the times when I ask this question, I'm gauging their excitement level, maybe concern, this, that, the other. Right? This is the moment right here that a lot of times you're going to go through a lot of this, right? In this moment, right here in phase 4, you're going to be going through some of this right here, and we'll go through that. But assuming that they stayed all the way to the end, they like it, okay? So I'm just going to design this. I'm just going to give you this specific scenario. They're excited. They're actually telling you how they're going to use this program. Like, oh, you don't even know. I have this basketball team or volleyball team that I'm connected with, this, that, the other, and they're personally relating it to their own personal life of how they're going to be able to profit out of this program. If they're doing that, it's pretty much a done deal. Right? If they're selling you about how they're going to make money with this, it's a done deal. It's just time to bring them on board, period. Okay? You don't have to spend any time with doing that. So just make it easy on yourself. At least this way, when I'm explaining it to you, you're now having the ability to identify when and where it's not good to, as long as you can recognize it and it looks familiar, then you know how to proceed forward, right? So the question that I asked based on their excitement level and everything after this question, the reinforcement question. Okay, so Teresa, does all of this make sense to you? Here we go. We're about to get in now. We're about to get in. We're about to get started. We're about to bring them on board. Does all of this make sense to you? Okay, here we go. Yes, no, it totally makes sense. Absolutely. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Okay, great. I guess the only thing that's left to say is welcome aboard. That's it. That's it. What does that, when I say that line, what is that really instilling to that person? You are now joining us. It's now time for the next phase. Welcome aboard. Subconsciously, mentally, they're saying, okay, it's now time. Why, thank you. Now the official welcome has begun. Okay. At this point, what I do is I walk them through their first steps. I say, okay, so what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to collect some basic information from you, and I'm going to get you processed and then into the system, and I'm going to walk you through your first steps. I just predisposed, I laid out the path of what's about to occur. Okay, great. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect some basic information. I'm going to process the information and then get you into the system. You're going to get a website, and I'm going to walk you through your first steps. There's no unpredictability here. I just laid out what's about to occur. Okay, that's also another gauge that you're doing by me walking through that step. That's telling them and giving you permission to say, let's move forward. Right? Because sometimes they'll stop me right there. Okay, so what I'm going to do from here, I'm going to collect some basic information, and I'm going to get you processed and into the system, and I'm going to walk you through your first steps. Sometimes you're going to get, oh, hold on, but I get paid Friday. Right? So it's important that I say that line so I determine exactly what's about to occur, and I know if I'm going to get the permission to move to the next step. Does that make sense to you guys? Yes? Yes? All right. Isn't that crazy how I break down everything? All right. So the moment they say, okay, it's time. I already have this pulled up. Ready? All right. So what is your first name? And I really want you to pay attention into which I'm doing this. Nancy Kerrigan. Oh, aren't you that skater who got capped in the knee? Yeah. All right. All right, you see this? Social Security, birthday. I'm going to skip those right now because I say this as a classic example. It's like going straight for the panties on a date without any warm-up, right? You don't want to give out that information right away. It's not cool. So I go straight to here. I get the name, email address. They have no problem giving. Mind you, by the way, guys, pay attention to all the red asterisks. All the information that I'm going to ask for, they all know it by heart. Even if they're driving, I promise you, they know all of this by heart. What's your email address? Okay, done. What's your phone number? Or what's your cell phone? Done. What is a good mailing address? I never say home address. Okay, I would rather have their mailing address. And it's kind of like, I hate to say the word home, but because like to me it feels like an invasion of privacy, and I don't like that. They're going to end up giving me their home address anyway, but it is what it is. So I just say whatever address they give me, I go ahead and put it in. City, okay. Look, you notice the state doesn't have a red asterisk, so disregard that. I don't even care. Zip code, all right, done. And how exciting, and I say this all the time, and I want you to start doing it, and I want you to say it as monotone and as lame as possible, and it's still exciting, no matter how you do it. Watch this. How exciting. But what do you want to name your website? Isn't that exciting? You mean I get a website? No way. Yeah, that's right. So isn't that cool? So you get the website, and you help them along the process. Because it's a subdomain, it's interchangeable, and you know, what I like to do is I don't want them to spend too much time trying to think of this perfect name. I just say, just so you know, you can change the site name like a t-shirt. So if you come up with something clever later, just go ahead and swap it out. Oh, okay, perfect. How about I just put Kerrigan Travel for now? I just go ahead and name it for them just to keep it moving. Yeah, sure. Because at the end of the day, they're going to have to get through the learning process anyway. And in that process, they can figure out how they want to proceed forward. Like if they come up with a cooler name in that process, then they could always change it out. So this is not really all that important in the beginning, but it's just very initially exciting. And then over here for the password, what I just typically do is I just give a universal password that makes it easy on you, right? So my password is freedom, all lowercase. I like that because subliminally, this is what I want them to have. I want them to write the word freedom because subconsciously, that's what I want them to go for. Every one of you deserve it. So, but at the same token, because it's a universal password, I do let them know they have the freedom to change the password as they please, and it's very easy to do it, okay? So that's that. All right. And then once you've done this, they're already ready, okay? They've given you the name of their website. 99% of the time, they're ready to give you these now. Okay, so date of birth, and then social. I just say the word social without having to say the word security because I don't want any, man, I go right down to the minute details, don't I? I don't say the word security simply because I don't want any inhibitions. When I say the word social, they should already immediately know what I mean. By this time, they should feel good from the information that they've received with the reputable company that they're potentially now going to be doing business with. They should feel good about Charles Lee because he declared that he's a God-fearing man and he does his business with honesty and integrity. They are not going to be put in jeopardy. And if anyone does, we're going to just zap them out anyway. So I say social, and at this point, they should feel pretty good about coming and giving you all the information, and then go ahead and put it. Now make sure you follow all the examples properly. Like if the date of birth should be like this, and then social security look like that. ... dash, ... dash, ... Okay? And then with every potential agent that I'm bringing on board, I always read this. By checking this box, you agree to independent contractor agreement with Archer Travel Services. You also agree to the terms and conditions, and you also understand that you have a 10-day money-back guarantee. Yes, I do. Okay, next. Verify, next. Then, okay, how did you want to get started? Visa or MasterCard. That's it, done. As soon as they get their agent ID number, screenshot it, send it to them, and then you guys all know the protocol. So we're done with that, right? You guys with me there? Yes? You guys good? You guys good with that information? Let me see here. Yep. All right, cool. Over here, these are always going to be your main objections. Always. Always. Well, here's the thing. The $69.95, I spent quite amount of time how to Godzilla foot the $69.95. Honestly, I Godzilla foot it. If they can't get over it, I'm gonna tell you right now, they seriously have serious insecurity and they have really non-belief in themselves. That's what it all boils down to. So there's gonna be a difference between deciding that they don't want to take on the $69.95 or being scared. So if they're scared, really at the end of the day, it's just about reassuring them and providing them a solution. Okay, that's it. At the end of the day, you just have to provide a realistic solution on how to eliminate the $69.95. When you give them a solution, then they're okay. Now they have a clear pathway. Because if I were to ever introduce this business, it's $49 and then it's $69.95 a month, everyone turns tail and runs, right? That's it. At the end of the day, that's what it all boils down to. Good, Adam, I'm glad you said that. All right, and then for the $69.95, it's all taken care of. So I feel that I Godzilla footed. And the solution to really, what are the solutions to the $69.95? Does anybody know what the solutions are to the $69.95? I'm going to allow you guys to be able to unmute yourself.
Team build.
Okay, but I wouldn't necessarily give them that solution in that way, to tell them to team build right away, because they might feel a certain kind of way about that. So
kind of like the way you explain it, and the way you talk about it.
Right.
You say if you have like 3 people, how that kind of,
Right.
then it's like Netflix money if you get to the first level.
That's why I spend a lot of time to break it down in, with the $69.95, how to just make it simple. Look, 1 or 2 travel bookings can eliminate the monthly expenditure. Another thing that I say is, look, you're obviously going to come into business with the intentions of making more than $69.95, right? Yeah. Okay, there's 2. There's another response for that. The first 2 positions, the way I explained it to you, remember 3 at least mitigates, the second position eliminates. So we want to just pretty much eliminate it as fast as possible. The bottom line, plus, and then there's the 10%, right? If you have a good amount of agents, hey, you might have one superstar travel agent that's booking a whole ton of travel, and you can just make all the money off the 10%, right? And let that pay for the.
You could pay it for them.
Right? Sorry?
You can pay it for them.
You sound so muffled, I can't really understand what you're saying.
You can pay it for them.
Yeah. Well, I won't. I'm personally not going to do that. If I paid it for everybody, I'd be broke. So at the end of the day, what this business is really about, helping them understand what having their own business is all about, right? So what you want to do is you want to definitely create the solutions of how to eliminate by their own efforts through the pathway that we have, how to get rid of it. So as long as you have a very clear, sound solution to how they can get rid of it, now they should be assured. Here's another response. By the way, this is a complete month to month. So you can do it the first month, and if you don't like it, you don't have to continue. That's another powerful response, because it's not like they're obligated to stay, right? Nobody is. And we are a month-to-month basis. So at the end of the day, they're not, nobody's obligated to stay. I can just say, all right, I'm done. I don't have to pay the $69.95 anymore. There goes my $8K a month, right? Why? So at the end of the day, nobody is forced to stay. Nobody's forced to stay. Does that make sense, guys? So I gave you about 4 answers how to attack that monthly. Okay. Did everyone get that? I have to think about it. Sure. Think about it. No problem. But I would take advantage of the 3-day, 2-night stay. So as long as you get back to me today, then you're gonna, still be able to honor that 3-day, 2-night stay. That's the one that creates the best urgency without having to pressure them. I don't like twisting somebody's arm. Nobody should feel that their arm is twisted, but at the same token, you need to create a call to action to act now. Because if you don't, what's going to happen is I have to think about it. Okay, sure, think about it. And from there, let's get back to me next Tuesday. Dude, forget it. If they start saying things like that, I'll just put them on the calendar. I said, okay, great. Talk to you then. If they don't see the value in this to start now, and let alone take advantage of the 3-day, 2-night stay, to me, they're blowing me off. All right, bye. I'll talk to you next Tuesday then. And I'll shoot them a text next Tuesday and say, hey, you wanted me to get a hold of you next Tuesday. And it's almost like 90%. Yeah, no, I don't have the money for it. All right, bye. It's crazy. I already know the game so long, so much. I already know. Look, I create so much value and so much. If they don't feel the excitement and how this is a solution to your problems, to if you're not succeeding today, then you won't never see it. That's my opinion. I'm serious. You never will. If they don't see the value by the time they're done with the webinar, then they'll never see the value in it. One guy said it's a scam, right? Yeah, you're gonna get that. You're gonna get that. You're gonna get people say it's a scam, but are we? Seriously, are we? If you don't know the answer to that, then you can't stand proudly. You're just gonna get run over by them. I'm serious right now. If you don't know that we're not a scam, then you're just gonna get run over by everybody. Yeah, you're a scam, you're a scam. Dude, I stand proudly knowing that this isn't a scam. Why? Because A plus in the Better Business Bureau, think about that. And then let alone, I just did a testimonial video, the real stories. I'm a living proof testimony, and I'm a huge skeptic. Me personally, myself, I did my research. So I know my journey, I know my story, and you know what every single platinum has gone through? I saw them freaking work from the ground up, from point A to where they are today. And it was not an easy road. So F all those who called it a scam, because we're actually carving a path for our destiny. That's how I truly feel. I get really riled up. In fact, I got a little bit in trouble because of some lady calling us a scam. And I got really mad because how dare they? And I have to share it with each and every one of you. She was at the webinar. My gloves came off. It's crazy. Hey there, what'd you like best about what you saw? This is what I like most about it. BareNakedScam.com, blah, blah, blah. It's illegal according to the Federal Trade Commission. That's why we're a publicly traded company? Really? Okay. I did my homework, including the BBB. Why try to get rich when the only person getting rich is the owner of the company? Sorry, sweetie, no sucker here. Then I returned with, here's some good advice for you. And this is with full knowledge that you will not be becoming a part of this business because you've already made up your mind. And I understand that. Don't ever trust any site that promotes their own agenda. It's very clear their whole site is designed to smear other sites and promote their own product. That's all I will say. And no, you are not a sucker. Thanks for sticking around though. God bless. So obviously, took the high road there. Maybe you should read what I sent you, actually. Looked up the info. Sorry, I've been working with government agencies long enough. So remove my number. Thank you, scammer. Then I wrote, I take serious offense to this. You being so judgmental by some regarded smear sites. I'll tell you what, watch this video, take a look at their body language and look at their eyes and search for any lies in their eyes. I'm sure you're educated enough to see if people are lying or not. So I sent them the testimonial video. And then I further wrote in, look, and yeah, this was a poor choice of words, but I did want to drive home the point in a very powerful way. If I called you a slut, would that make it so? Please don't call anyone names or scams, especially when you don't have merit. You can keep doing what you're doing. Have a good day. I will no longer respond as long as you don't text me. But I promise, if you do text, I will have the last word. So that's how I feel. Yeah, I get a little bit over aggressive because I know the freaking hard work that I have to put in to get to where I am today. I know the hard work that everyone that's online here that I had to do to get to where they are. And they got my back and I got their back. So when they call us a scammer, to me, they don't know anything. They just have an outside judgment without actual proof. So I'm sorry that you get run over by that, but when you love something and you know without a shadow of a doubt, it's kind of like you know your kids, right? And then somebody's like just trashing on your kids when your kid's a good boy, and somebody called them and said, you know without a shadow of a doubt how good your boy is, right? Or your wife is, I don't know, someone that you deeply care about. And they completely just, without any kind of facts, they just immediately call your wife a slut or call your kids like a thief when he never did any of those things. Yeah, I take serious offense. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. So Adam, yeah, I know you're brand new, so you're just kind of like you're like at the start, and you know you have zero history, so you're at the very beginning. So I totally get that, but I reassure you that look, we're not number one top travel agency. Think about that for a reason. You got Expedia that's giving us the awards. You got Carnival. We're a 500 platinum member. I mean, how do we even get that if we're a freaking scam?
I like what Chris said. He's happy to be scammed as long as he has money in his pocket. That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. You can come up with all the kind of like smart answers. Like, yeah, I don't mind being scammed as long as I'm making all the money, right? All right. Well, you're just brand spanking new, sir. I think you're like 2 days old, and you're talking like you've been doing this for 6 months. You got to really learn the process. And I'm going to give you a full-on team building class video, so that way you can conceptualize. All right. So that way you can fully get what it is that we have.
Who's that, Adam?
Yeah, Adam. So I think maybe you're like less than a week old. So I'm going to give you a lot of material that you're going to really learn some powerful stuff. All right. So you got that.
There's a lot of videos on the YouTube too.
Yeah. You betcha. All right. So Jolene Huitron.
Yes.
All right, go for it.
Okay. Why do we fill out the new agent form versus getting them the link and being on the phone call while they do it? Because that's another issue that I've had a lot is with the social security number.
Yep, absolutely. So I do give them the link when we come to that crossroad, because you know some people are going to be particular about that. So that would be my second go-to, right? So if they say no, well, I'm not comfortable giving the social security number. Okay, no problem. Let me give you the link. Then proceed forward to what you just explained and staying on the phone with them until it's complete.
If you want a higher closing rate though, you do it yourself. Because otherwise you give them the link and they go off and do something else. And then it's kind of like, well, why didn't I get them to sign up? And then it's almost like you're not walking them through the process. So yeah, you can give them the link. We give the link all the time. Marnie's a big, here's the link, sign up.
So let me walk you through that process of, and some of you have not experienced this, but you guys will. Okay, I'm ready to sign up. All right, here's my link. So you give them the link. You're not on the phone with them, so you send them the link. And I've been through this so many times before, guys. And please take my word for it. I have no reason to lie. I send them the link. All right, I'm gonna sign up right after I'm done with this meal. Okay. All right, so now you're waiting. So you want to kind of like an adult guesstimation about a meal. So let's give them an hour. So an hour goes by and no sign up. Like, where you at? Like, you know, what's going on here? So now you're at this limbo land where you're like, okay, well, I don't want to sound pushy and I don't want to like sound overly like you guys get what I'm saying. So like, I don't want to harass them. That's basically a good terminology. So they did say they're going to come back to me after they got done eating. Now 2 hours go by, 3 hours go by. Where is it? So now it's like, all right, well, let's send them a text real quick, right? And then maybe they won't even get back to you. Well, now you're sitting there just kind of like twinkling your thumbs and like just waiting on that, right? And then, you know, now you call them and then they don't even pick up the phone. Now like you're sitting there wondering, well, should I call them again? You know, maybe. So now you're kind of circling in your head and you're playing the waiting game on them. There's been a couple of times where they didn't even come on board when they were ready because real life happened. What does that mean? Well, they went to go eat dinner. Then they got into a fight with their husband or boyfriend and something came up, or there's, you know, got a flat tire, you know, their kids broke their arm, anything. All of these things happen. All of them. Real life happens. So now you're sitting there in that spot where you're like, well, I sent them the link. they didn't come on board. And of course, you want to be respecting their space because it's like, well, you know, now their kid broke their arm, right? And it could have just been signed up within 5 minutes, literally. So I'm actually walking you through what I've been through so many times. I'm like, you know what? They're excited now. Let's wrap this up in like 5 minutes. I can get this done. Wouldn't you rather know that you got that agent ID number and now they're a part of your team? And now you're like, all right, they're a part of my team. It's time to move forward. Instead of sitting there playing the waiting game. That's why. That's why I never just send the link unless, like you said, Jolene, is that you're going to stay on the phone with them and they actually go through the process. The way I intro that is, okay, I'm going to send you the link and then go ahead and fill out all that information. And then I'll be on the phone with you. Just give me your agent ID number so that way that I know you're in the system and I'm going to walk you through your first steps. To give them a reason why you're going to be on the phone with them. Does that make sense? Does that answer your guys' questions, Jolene? Yeah?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Yeah. So, you know, the art of what I do is, you know, personally what I love to do, I love building a team. I'm going to tell you what the strength here is in this team with Rising Tide. And I'm going to tell you, my wife, she's very entrepreneurship minded person. She also loves to help people and she loves travel and she loves to show what she learns. Me, the person that I am, I love mental fortitude. I love achieving things. I love getting people to achieve things and I love to help people as well. So with the combination of two of us, that's what you get. And me, I'm also a diplomatic person to where I like to break everything down all the way to the place of where I can completely explain it in a way that's understandable for everyone to be able to digest on a step-by-step process. So that way you understand every step of the way what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, right? So.
It's good that he does that, because if you just ask me, I say, don't overthink it. Just ask them what they think about.
Oh, hell no.
That's the way I am. Like, let's just get down to it. Like,
this,
be honest.
This brain does so many things. This brain just overthinks everything and like, I'm always often questioning myself, well, why did this person say no? Why? So I always want to understand why in order to make things better. How do we make it even more efficient? How do we make it better? You know, and, you know, that's what you'll always get with us. And the good thing is that you'll always get no holds barred secrets. You know, we share everything with you, everything, all of it. So that is the closing. Any questions on closing? So what we covered today, just to recap, is the invite game and locking down your invite with Erica Mills. And then the second part of what we did in team training today is how to close, okay? Now, everything in between, the first initial contact of getting hits like Adam needs, then get back to me so I can send you the video on where you're gonna be getting your leads and all that good stuff.
Awesome.
All right. So there's Erica Mills giving out her phone number. She's definitely more than happy to help out at this time until she gets to gold. And it's gonna be, all right. Also, one of the things that I wanna cover on team building, this is gonna be really crucial to all of you, especially for those of you that are bronzes, silvers, and up, okay? Including golds and up to even executives as well. You guys must understand this, must. If you ever want to grow your business and your team size, this is really important for all of you silvers and everything, right? You have to understand this. And I want you guys to watch this quick video. This is probably the best video that will explain it, okay? Saving Private Ryan. Okay, so it's a quick 2-minute, but it's probably one of the most important things that you get. Okay, so here.
Hey, so Captain, what about you? I mean, you don't gripe at all? I don't gripe to you, Ryben. I'm a captain. He's a chain of command, but I just go up, not down, always up. You gripe to me, I gripe to my superior officer, so on, so on, so on. I don't gripe to you. I don't gripe to
Charles,
you. know that. It's arranged.
Yeah.
are we supposed to see? I'm not seeing a video. I don't know. Are you supposed to show us the video?
Oh yeah.
And
Sorry
you did
about
the
that.
50-second one.
Okay.
Oh yeah, but too long. Oh yeah. I'm sorry about that. I should. Okay. Thank you for doing that.
There you go.
This is good enough. This is important.
Hey, so Captain, what about you? I mean, you don't gripe at all? I don't gripe to you, Ryben. I'm a captain. He's a chain of command. Gripes go up, not down, always up. You gripe to me, I gripe to my superior officer, so on, so on, so on. I don't gripe to you. I don't gripe in front of you. You should know that. It's arranged.
I'm sorry, sir, but let's say you weren't a captain, or maybe I was a major. What'd you say then?
Well, in that case, I say this is an excellent mission, sir, with an extremely valuable objective, sir. Worthy of my best efforts, sir. Moreover, I feel heartfelt sorrow for the mother of Private James Ryan. I'm willing to lay down my life and the lives of my men, especially you, Ryben, to ease her suffering.
He's good.
I love him.
Okay. So you guys get the idea here is that when it comes to your leadership, I'm going to tell you what's going to be the biggest thing that poisons your team. If you find yourself, have you noticed when I do my webinars and I talk about what we don't have room for is whiners, complainers, tire kickers and such. If you find yourself as a leader, and this goes from executive all the way up, just know this one rule of thumb. Gripes go up. They don't go down. If you're a leader and you have people in your team and you're on the phone with them and you're sitting there complaining, whining, and this, that, the other, you know what's going to happen? You'll never allow your team to grow, ever. You know why? Because you're just crapping and pooping and peeing all over your team. Because they look to you. You're the one who brought them on board, right? And you gave them all this excitement of joining your business and your team. So if you're sitting there finding yourself grumbling and complaining, I promise you, you'll never be a gold and you'll never be a platinum. Understand what I just showed you with Saving Private Ryan. He's a captain. You'll never hear me complain to you guys. So understand that rule. If I'm going to complain, guess where I'm going to complain to? It keeps going up. You'll never hear me because you guys look to me for my leadership. I want you to imagine this for a second. Hey, Charles, I've been having a hard time. Yeah, you know what? Me too. Man, this stuff is so hard. I can't take it. It's just, oh my gosh, man. I'm having a hard time just like you. I don't know if I can do this. I want you to think about what you're doing to your people right now. Imagine if I did that. You come to me for leadership advice and I'm sitting there and, complaining, whining about things that are going on in the company that you don't like. I'm going to tell you this right now, no matter what company that you join or no matter what you do, there's never going to be that perfect person or a perfect company. We take things organically and we take things in a way that helps us grow because this is our journey and what we're doing. Your journey and what you're doing. And in that process, you're going to go along the way to help you grow your organization and in your team. So if you find yourself griping, grumbling, or complaining, just know this one rule. It better go up. Do not gripe and grumble down ever. Does everyone understand that? That's going to be one huge, huge piece of advice for all of you leaders. Okay, so that way when you understand this rule, man, when you start growing a team, they're going to start looking at you for leadership. That's how you grow. That's how you lead from the front. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
Do you guys all understand that? A lot of times, if you're not finding growth in your team, that's probably because a lot of times, you may be sitting there grumbling and crying in front of your downline, and they're going to be like, man, this is my leader?
Everybody's having a good time at a big dinner table. Like you got like 20 people and you got one person complaining about every little thing, the spoon, the soup, the the juice, the wine, whatever. You're complaining about everything. And the funny thing is, probably a free dinner. How do you think those people are going to feel with you around? Do you think they're going to want you around? Probably not.
So, you know, like I said, you know, same thing in what we do here is just be mindful of your surroundings, be mindful of the people that we work together with. I'm going to tell you right now, my true ambition and my motivation here is to help you guys succeed. And this is why I teach you guys these things, to learn network marketing and learn entrepreneurship, because this is a relationship business, especially when you're building a team. It's not telling people what to do. It's working with people who you have and understanding to coach them along the way to help them become better human beings of themselves and in their business. And so this is a big responsibility that we have, that I share with you, that what brought me to what's all behind me, right? All of that stuff is accrued through hard work and effort and mental fortitude and understanding that nothing is ever going to come easy. I've already accepted that. And I accepted a long time ago, if you ever want to be that person that reaches all the way to the top, you got to be that guy that's willing to do all the work to get there, to do it. Like the Michael Jordans, like the Steph Currys, like the LeBron James and everyone else, no matter what field that they're in, they weren't ever the smartest or the most athletically gifted. They were never the ones with the highest IQ, but they were willing to just put in the work and accept everything that comes along with that. Those are the people who succeed. I promise you. But along the way, if we're sitting there kicking and screaming and complaining about it, you never get there. You want to know why? Because you're spending more time complaining, grumbling, what you don't have. And I say this all the time, live your life with gratitude instead of a life of entitlement. When you live a life of entitlement, you have expectations of how you should be living. But if you live a life of gratitude where you're grateful for the things that you have, you know how much more fulfilling your heart will be when you share that with all your team? How many of you are willing to put out $100? You know, we're giving a big chunk of our platinum pay for you guys because we have the motivation for you guys to succeed. We like that. We love it. And that to us, giving is, when you give, you're doing something where you're relinquishing any rights to get something back because you enjoy giving. So, anything else?
Just this. I don't know what to do about that.
All right. What do you want to do? One-on-ones?
No, they're asking for that. How do I trust that?
Okay, so we have a few agents that, you know, these are all rising tide people to do some one-on-one. Okay, we'll just have to schedule a time for a one-on-one with you guys.
Yeah, so just so you guys know, I've had like over 12 to 20 requests, 12 in Rising Tide, 8 in the corporate company. They are like almost demanding a one-on-one with me. They even went to their leader, mad that I wouldn't give them a one-on-one time. And their leaders actually laughed. Tony Evans is like, really? Like, none of us do a one-on-one. So I just want to let you guys know that from the moment I wake up in the morning, I have text messages from 500 agents and 8,000 from the company. And I do a training every single day. I've scheduled it all over. I've scheduled at 11 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Maybe you guys are unable to come, but here's the thing here.
I'm going to stop recording now. I think the content is done.